Yes, guys,
Yes.
welcome back to Chasing Green Arrows. It's Friday. It's Thursday. It's nearly Friday. It's nearly deadline day. But this feels like our deadline stream, Dean, because this is our last one. So we're going to be treating it like a deadline, really, aren't we? Like making big decisions on our teams, pretty much locking in, shouting out to all you guys. So yeah, enjoy the next hour, guys. We'll answer some questions too, and we're going to talk you through our teams and our big final decisions, really.
Absolutely, yeah. Excuse me being on the phone. I am tweeting the link so that people can come and join us right now, saying we are game week 1 ready and we are live. Do you feel game week 1 ready, mate? I mean, you've had a month. No, not quite a month actually. Was it 3 weeks of build up to this?
Yeah, 3.5. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you got a good team.
It's weird for me because a lot of the YouTubers and content creators will go right up into the final whistle, right? It's making decisions at 6:30, and it's partly because they know that that's their deadline, but partly because it works for what they're doing, right? It's, I'm not sure if I'm going to go Salah or not. It's like, you've had 4 weeks.
Sure.
Why do I need to watch a deadline stream to find that out? But of course, it's part of the game, whatever. But because that's not really what this channel or my channel is built on, i.e. deadline, and also because deadline day for me is a very busy day for other things outside of FPL. I've locked it. I did a video on Monday where I said 9 of my 15 are locked, and those 9, I swear by it. If I say locked, I mean locked. And then I did a video last night where I said 13 of the 15 were locked. And again, that's still the case. It's 13. And the 2 that I said will go in will probably go in. So I'm pretty much 15 out of 15 and done. And I like being in that position. I mean, I can sleep on it, but it's not, when you've had 4 weeks to do anything, why do people need the last 5 minutes? That blows my mind a bit. And I don't like that with any deadline, to be fair.
No, I mean, I did do that with my homework, and I do it with my tax returns. So I can't say I can't say I don't typically do that. But when it comes to FPL, it's obviously top priority. I mean, it's more important than homework and tax returns. So I do feel like I'm well prepped. Obviously, I've made a big change this week because I've wedged Cole Palmer into my team. Perhaps unnecessarily, but perhaps not. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't feel like I've got a weak rest of my team. I do feel like it's a little bit overkill having 4 premium attackers. But I'm ready to embrace the season, mate. I just want to have fun. And last season, I kind of stuck to that. And I did have fun, and I played it my way, and I wasn't skewed by whatever you or big man, might try to put in my head, even though, good advice at times. I tried to stick to taking some of the logical stuff, which I have done with you and some things building up to now. But yeah, ultimately, I play this game because I want to watch the other games and enjoy them and have that fun element of it. And I, as you know, don't like to get drawn down the stats route. I don't. Some players play this game without even watching football. They just study the stats and look at their apps. That's not me. I like to watch the games and enjoy them as I'm watching them and do a bit of eye test. And that's always going to be the case. I'll never win FPL, mate. But I don't think many people will.
But it's funny, those that do win FPL, though, they always go completely against the grain. Like, you can get really good ranks by doing what everyone does and the template and analysis and data. But to win it, you need to buck the trend. I've spoken to 4 winners in the past week, and they all had one thing in common. None of them have planned any chip strategy. Like, none of them could say, I'm going to bench boost now, I'm going to wildcard in game week 8. Most content creators have done that. They don't. Yeah, and they're all not afraid to go against the template. So to win, actually, someone like you, Dean, what you'll struggle to do is have really consistent elite tier ranks. But what you could do, you could actually win it because the way you manage. So I'm absolutely all for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's that thing whereby, because I haven't got to make the top 50k every year. I haven't got to be Harry FPL, whatever. I haven't got that pressure. I could do whatever I want, and people just expect that I'm mad and I'm just playing the game in a weird way. But it's how I do it, and sometime it's going to land me a high rank. And in the past, it's definitely cost me, and I've ended up in the millions. So that's just where we are. Just said, has Dean been to 7-Eleven? Can you tell? G like this as we were warming up. He's like, is that coffee big enough? Just about. I'm a bit tired today, so I've got myself an XL.
How much caffeine is in one of those? I mean, it must be.
I want to ask, man.
No, don't look.
I don't know how big this thing is. It just says extra large, doesn't it? Actually,
I'm not sure I drink that much water in a day.
well, that's the problem, mate. Neither do I. I have tried actually to start doing that, but maybe I'll down a liter of water on the back of this coffee. But there we go. Did you watch the Super Cup last night? Before we get into our proper teams, let's start with a little review on Tottenham. Woz has just reminded me of that because he's a mad Tottenham fan. Being a Colchester fan, by the way. So they're 2-0 up, throw that away. They're 2-0 up again in the shootout and throw that away. All of it are a bit Spursy, which my son actually asked me this morning. Dad, what's Spursy mean? He's 7 years old.
Look it up. It's a thing.
But they did play quite well. And
but you can change your manager. You can change your personnel. You can change your tactics and formation. And you can even change some of your players. But Spurs will always Spurs.
But from an FPL perspective, did you see anything that made you think, oh, Palhinha's good, or oh, Van der Ven is going to get points?
I'm doing this tongue in cheek because
you're a Chelsea fan, of course you are.
I'm a Chelsea fan, and I was really impressed by him. And you know what? Like there wasn't a player where I thought they're not doing better than they perhaps were at points last season. Papsar was a man possessed. Kudus an amazing 70 minutes. It did show me a few things. One, set piece Spurs. They are going to score so many set piece goals, but they're not always going to come direct from the set piece. It's a lot of second balls. And I remember this from Brentford. How often do you see free kick floated in from Damsgaard, Nathan Collins heading it across the goal, and then Wissa tapping it in? That's what Thomas Frank does a lot. And yesterday it was Porro to Romero's head straight in, but that's because it was terrible defending. Usually it'll be a lot of second balls. So I don't think necessarily the guy on set pieces for Spurs is going to get loads of assists because he'll get the assist of the assist. Saying that, Pedro Porro with no Maddison is clearly now an amazing option. He ain't always going to be in a back five. He's often actually going to be in a back four, but we know what Porro does and he's brilliant. Palhinha is going to mean more clean sheets. Dadipa, more clean sheets. Vicario's going long all the time. The Vicario is going to get some assists just from default of the way he hoofs it. It was really interesting. And do you know what? Kudus at 6.5, I love, especially when they play 3-5-2 and he's going to be the Mbermo. He's going to be the second striker. Or in a 4-3-3, he'll be the right wing, just like Mbermo was. The problem with Kudus is there's a lot of other fringe players like Odegaard or Tell or Johnson that will come off the bench and eat into those minutes. I don't think we're going to see a 90-minute Kudus match. So that put me off him. So the hero line for me was Pedro Porro. It's a no-brainer.
Really, yeah. It's interesting. I mean, I do think that Tottenham are going to have some joy. Look, they've just matched PSG, and you could say, look, PSG have only been back in training for 6 days or whatever it was. But ultimately, it's PSG. They are pretty much the best football team in the world right now. They're very close to it if you're going to say that they're not. And their next game for Tottenham is Burnley at home. They're not the best football team in the world. So what we're going to get? We're going to get Burnley putting up 10 men behind the ball, trying to nick a goal on the break. Defensively, last season in the Championship, I don't know if you've seen the stats on Burnley.
They were very lucky, weren't they? Trafford saved them, though. It was good, bad XG against them, but amazing XGC.
Yeah, so they barely conceded any goals, like 16 or something all season. But Trafford had a worldy season, for sure. They couldn't score goals. So Scott Parker teams do this. They're pretty boring. Scott Parker himself was a brilliant footballer, but he was quite boring. He just played sideways and backwards a lot of the time and made his tackles. But he did his job. As a manager, pretty much the same. When he was at Fulham, it's ultimately what cost him his job in the end. Too boring. Great at getting up to the Premier League, not very good at staying there.
So was it Bournemouth? Did he go to Bournemouth after that, Dean?
Yeah, went to Bournemouth, did the same thing.
Now he was seen at Bournemouth, got fired quite early, didn't he?
Done the same thing, got Fulham up, got Bournemouth up, and now he's got these guys up. So he's got a good track record of the first part, and now it's just the second part is tricky. So we'll assume that Scott Parker doesn't get through this season, but I don't see him changing his ways. So what we need to discover really for Tottenham is, one, do we just trust them defensively because Burnley haven't got a lot to offer, really, from what we've seen in the past, but also they're making their signings quite late, so there's not really been that much time for them to gel their new attacking figures. So I think that Tottenham's chances of a clean sheet are pretty high in this one. So Van der Ven, obviously, He scores a goal. That's nice. It's a bit annoying that I had him in my team already, and I'm sure his ownership has gone up since he bagged that one. But it's kind of irrelevant, the way it was scored. But we do see that Tottenham defenders are going to be getting on the end of these set pieces, and they're going to be in and around the box for the knockdowns too, like you just mentioned. So Van de Ven's a good pick. As you say, Porro will be a good pick. Palhinha might well be a good pick. And then Kudos will bring them that bit of spark, that bit of magic. I don't think there's anyone else beyond those that I would be looking at, is there?
Solanke, because he might be ready for 60. But again, Richarlison is such a good game. I think Richarlison should start Burnley and Solanke probably gets 30. So it's just too soon for Solanke. He's not at a pre-season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Palhinha adding clean sheets to the team. You called it as soon as he signed. It was like, now you buy a Spurs defender. I would say with Van de Ven, because it was 4 days between the Wednesday and the Saturday, I do wonder if he can play 90 twice. And Danso had such a good game. And if he'll go to a back four versus Burnley, there's no way you play a 5.
You think?
It will be Romero alongside Danso or Romero alongside Van de Ven. There's a slight doubt in my head that goes, maybe Van de Ven actually misses this one just because of being in the just being too many minutes too soon. But I'm 10% on that. I think it will be. I think I'm probably 70-30.
Yeah, I got a text about 7 hours before kickoff yesterday saying, "Oh, Spurs are going back 5 today," and I was like, "Ooh."
Oh, did you? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've got a new Spurs contact who's been delivering the goods on Savinho and Eze, and now the tactics too. I was like, "Oh, that'll be interesting to see if that comes true." And then the lineups came out. I was like, "Okay." Cool. So I'll try and get us some more intel on Spurs as we get into the season to see what we can expect from them.
Yeah, and Eze, Pap Sarr, loads are mentioning it. The problem with Pap Sarr playing number 10 is he ain't going to be playing number 10 for long. Like Thomas Frank wants a Damsgaard, he wants a Maddison or a Kulu when fit will come in, or Eze can play that role from the left. I think he's brilliant, and at 5 million, I think he's a good buy in FPL. And we'll see my team in a minute. With the one spot I need to discuss is with my 5 million man in midfield. I don't think I'm going him, but I think he's a very good option. Mate, I just want to talk about defenders in general. And guys, get your comments in. I want to know what you think about DEFCON points. We'll do a poll. We did just poll Pedro Porro. I can't remember the results of that. It may have come out, but we asked, is Pedro Porro going to be in your team? Dean, I don't know. Oh, there we go. 53% of those watching are going to have Pedro Porro in their FPL team. Like, that is a huge difference to the masses ownership. I'm guessing Pedro Porro's 15-20% owned, but in the engaged community, you lot watching, 53%, massive. I wouldn't want to do a poll now just on DEFCON and just address DEFCON defensive contribution points. Are you taking DEFCON? How much is defensive contributions affecting your transfers? Lots, a little bit, not at all. Let's just poll that, because I think we're all probably a little bit guilty of not appreciating the huge difference with DEFCON. I did a tweet earlier, and we'll show this tweet now. Looking at the recalculation of defenders based on last year, I want to put into perspective how many points defenders can now pick up. So last year, if you had defensive contributions on, Milenkovic would have had 171 points, Murillo 168. Murillo would have had 38 extra points. So let's say you're looking at 170 points for these guys were 4.5, 5 million defenders. They're 5.5 now. Let's say they did it again. A 5.5 million defender from Forest gets you 170 points. Very, very possible. Mateta last year, the great season, 150 points. Morgan Rogers was amazing. He now costs 7.5 million, 70 million. He's 161 points. Semenyo was awesome. Loads of goals. 165 fewer. Cunha, so many goals. Got his move to United because he was this big goal scorer at Wolves. 178 points. That is only 7 fewer than Milenkovic. These guys are 5.5 million Forest defenders. Now, you might say, look, Forest won't do the same. Okay, let's say that you get 160 points. That's still massive. And the big decision I had in my team earlier this week when I locked in 9 players, I couldn't quite understand why I didn't have more expensive DEFCON defenders. I just looked at it and said, Gianni, you've got one DEFCON guy in Murillo, and then you've got a few like fullbacks and some cheaper defenders. You need at least 2 full centre-backs that are going to mop up. So I went Tarkowski in, and we can see Tarkowski would have got 149. He would have got 44 DEFCON points. 105 points is rubbish. 149 is a great season for your 5.5 million defender. Annoyingly, we now know. So what I decided to do was I took Fulkrug out my team. I had a 6 million forward. Who's going to get me more points? 6 million Fulkrug or 5.5 million Tarkowski? Well, Fulkrug needs to go and have a Acuna season to outscore these centre-backs. He's not going to do that. So I've gone down to Mark Guiu, who just sits on the bench perfectly at 4.5. Forget the third striker or the second striker at 6-7 million that won't do it compared to the centre-backs. And I put Tarkowski in my team. The problem I've got now is Branthwaite's out and he could be out for up to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
He's actually left my team last night and I've gone with Pedro Porro, who won't get the DEFCON. But I just want to point out, Murillo, I think, is the best defender in the game for DEFCON and bonus and a bit of goal threat. So I think we need to appreciate it.
Yeah. Who's the Nottingham Forest of this season is what we would be ideally identifying. And that's obviously extremely difficult.
Everton, possibly.
Possibly Everton. Is there anyone at Brighton? Because Brighton are anticipated to be the team that could finish 5th by a lot of people. Is there somebody at Brighton you think that could like come into this equation, or like
the problem with Brighton is
they play too differently? Yeah.
So they might keep the cleans, but they have too much of the ball. And the beauty of Forest and Everton is they keep clean sheets without having the ball much, but they're not one of the relegation teams. Like I tell you who else is really good at DEFCON? Anderson at Fulham. He's the best DEFCON player for all the 4.5 million. He's very good. And Fulham can keep clean sheets. That's why I asked you about that on Monday. So
yeah, they've got Brighton first though. I'm not overly.
It's not the best fixtures. So I think I'm happy with Murillo. I'll get some defensive contribution. The likes of Porro and Daniel Munoz, right backs, can still get defensive contributions in games where they're up against it. So Porro versus Bayern Munich the other day in a friendly would have got DEFCON because he was defending all game. So it's still possible for the fullbacks, especially for things like clearances. So yeah, that's where we're at with centre-backs. Midfielders, another discussion altogether. We won't go into it too much because I don't think people want the granular detail on DEFCON at this point in their pre-season. But if you're looking at the 5.5 or 5 million midfielders, you're going, do I go for the upside of an Adingra? Might get a goal every 4, 5, 6 games. Or do I go for the consistency of a Caicedo, Elliot Anderson, Baleba, who's just going to get loads of 4-pointers? And that's also really good and probably better. I wonder if Dewsbury Hall is the best of both. I think I'm going Dewsbury Hall as 5 million and Papsar's another. Bit of goal threat, will do DEFCON quite well. Is he going to be a 90-minute man at Everton though, Dean? Do you reckon we see Grealish one side and Dye the other and Dewsbury Hall in the 10? Or do you reckon we see Dewsbury Hall playing in the midfield with a Drissagay and then...
The beauty of it is he can do it all. And, you know, he's got a youthfulness about him and he's got an energy and a determination about him that will mean that he's got no ego in terms of where he's actually playing. I think we'll see him definitely in advanced positions. We're going to see him on a lot of set pieces. And so that combined with the fact that when they need him, he can dig deeper, I think he's a great pick. I mean, he's in my team as well. FPL Freddie says Reinders and Dewsbury Hall for me. Well, they're both in my team, I've got to say.
Same.
My team's become more templatey, to be honest, in the last week. And it wasn't even by methods of me going to see what everybody else was doing. It's just, it starts to become, I say more obvious. It might obviously turn out to be the case, but it looks more obvious that these are the sort of players that might do well this season. The more we understand how the teams are setting up, how we're getting points this season. Reinders and Dewsbury Hall appear to be very good players in terms of cost effectiveness.
Yeah. Elliot Anderson was the darling of the community at the start, and he is the DEFCON magnet for the central midfielders. Christie, another one at Bournemouth, but Christie's been injured and not ready for game week 1. But yeah, you're right. It's just that flair. Like you look at Forest and go, I don't know how many they're going to score. And Elliot Anderson takes a few set pieces, but Dewsbury Hall took corners too. And he's 5, not 5.5. And then Reinders comes with the explosiveness.
Two players like that for 10.5, whatever. Like, that's such good. It helps me make up my team. Like with all these premium assets I've got, like those two have kind of made it possible. We have got a super chat in, so let's get to that. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate this. Top man. So a triple up. Do you know what scares me about this? That it's the Friday. It's the Friday night. That's what scares me. That's why I think this takes bottle, is because it could ruin the rest of your Saturday, Sunday if this doesn't pay off.
Salah as well. It's effectively quadruple Liverpool attack. Yeah, because you're getting double that, right? So
it's just going all in on a team that, you know, we're all expecting a Liverpool win, but Bournemouth are a good team. I know they've lost players, but they won't just like crumble.
They won't lay down. Yeah,
I
the
don't
problem
think so.
It's not. It's game week 1's okay, but game week 2's away at Newcastle. Game week 3 is against. Is it Arsenal? For me, Liverpool score the most goals out of anyone this year. They're the best attack, and triple Liverpool attack looks really good. I just don't like it for game week 1, and I don't like it for 2, and I don't like it for 3. From game week 4 onwards, that's when you go and buy the third Liverpool attack if you want to go eggs in baskets. I would start with 2, Salah and Verts. That's what I'm doing. Not Gakpo. Move to Gakpo in 4, or start Verts. Pick 2 of the 3 as a maximum for game weeks 1 to 3. It's just too heavy. I don't mind Bournemouth, as Dean says, they're not going to be bad. But game week 2 and 3, come on. Newcastle and Arsenal, 2 of the hardest games you'll have. I think it's too heavy. I must admit, I don't have a Liverpool defender and I want a Liverpool slot available for Gakpo. I like the triple up, but I like that triple up when the fixtures are right. And at the moment, they're not.
I have to admit, I've found it hard to look beyond game week 1. It seems so big, doesn't it, when you're starting off a new season? You're so craving that first day return that you do end up kind of disregard. I mean, you don't, but like a lot of people end up disregarding what comes next.
Well, we're all blinked by that first fixture. Even me, right? You're like, I actually, to a degree, do, because would we all be buying Pedro Porro if he was playing Man City game week 1? Because that's who he's got game week 2.
Yeah, that's true. If it was the other way around, if it was City first, then Burnley, there'll be lower ownership. Yeah, that's 100% true. Malaki says, the Zubimendi disrespect. Hope no one buys him. Well, I'll tell you what, Malaki, he's flying under the radar. And Zubimendi, we did an episode of Ranks FC this week whereby we previewed the Premier League, obviously. And we were going through potential players of the year in the Premier League. And you get the obvious ones. If Arsenal win the league, then Zubimendi won't win Player of the Year. Like, it's that influential. Like, he would be the Rodri type player for Arsenal that could just bring everything together. As I said, I think I said it on here the other day. It might have been on Ranks that my brother-in-law was at the Arsenal game at the weekend.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he did. Yeah.
And I messaged him. He said, oh, that was fun, whatever, sent me some pictures. And I said, what was Gyökeres like? And he never answered. All he talked about was Zubimendi.
Really?
He was like,
Zubimendi. Was the cross from Zubimendi?
Yeah. He was like, and he's like, he was unbelievable. Like, he does not give the ball away. He said, and he keeps dropping like a sweeper. He'd go behind Gabriel and Saliba to get the ball. And he sprays out these pinpoint passes that are just like unreal. Spanish, so he's going to be breaking up play. He's going to be completing all his passes. He's going to be weighing in with the odd goal and assist. Yeah, I think Malaki might have a point.
Spanish players are good at that. It's amazing how they just they create so many good deep lying playmakers almost. You know, the Xavis, the Busquets, Rodri. There's so many that can just play that role. I love it.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, okay, nice. Guys, we would love you to hit those buttons today. Like, we're almost half an hour into the stream and we haven't asked you to subscribe, but we would love you to do that. We appreciate the vast majority of you in the chat. In fact, I think the chat is probably set to subscribers only. Everyone in the chat is already subscribed, but there'll be loads of you lurking out there. Come and say hello in the chat. Hit the subscribe button first. And yeah, we would love your input on today's show. Ivan says, hi guys, would love to get your feedback on the FPL Draft Manager website. Ivan's been working on it. I love this. Okay. I've just been... FPL draft. Wait, compare unlimited drafts. Oh, okay. I think that's different. I thought you were going to say the actual Premier League draft site, which is
he's obviously made his own one. Yeah,
I've just done my own draft, which for the first time, and I've loved it. But I must admit, dude, I've not seen your website, so I can't say.
Yeah, Ivan, drop your link in or whatever here, and people can go and have a look at that. I'm tempted actually with my mates this year to try and sort out a draft league, just so that we don't have the boredom of all ending up this season with the same captain and 8 of the same players and stuff. Like,
you can start next week if you want. If you don't get it done tomorrow, you can start game week 2, like, and a lot do it in the international break and start game week 4 because you get like 2 weeks off.
That's a good idea.
What I did last year. I actually did play draft last year, but starting game week 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it, mate. I'm loving draft so far. I'm playing with some of the guys in the chat. FPL Freddy, Wazza. I've got a cool little 12 of us. I got the 5th pick. I got Saka. I was between Saka and Watkins, and I went Saka.
Good choice. Good choice.
What do we think on bench boost with Rangers? Yeah, Thomas. Like, Dean and I we'll see our 11s in a minute. Probably both playing Rangers this week. I think he's a Wolves actually haven't looked good pre-season, and they are recruiting a bit like Bournemouth. They will be an okay defence, but they've lost key personnel and they're currently replacing them and probably not ready straight away. Like, was it Diakate Bournemouth signed yesterday for 35 mil? It's like, he's going to be great. He's 4.5 million FPL, but is he going to be ready game week 1? No.
Yeah. That's true. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to mix it up at that point. But Rich said, Milenkovic and Murillo double. Is it over the top?
I've got
probably not. I mean, I've got Sales and Ola Aina. How do you say his name? Ola Aina. So I don't see why that's any different. And I mean, I've definitely been swayed by Gianni keep banging on about Nottingham Forest, but there you go.
Yeah, it's just that early season for them. As soon as they start playing lots in Europe, it might take its toll and you have to offload. But 5 clean sheets in 6 pre-season games is a joke. Like, it's just what they do. Rob's come for the first time. Hey, Rob, I guess you've just hit that subscribe button to get your comment in. So thank you, mate. Views on Tonali, we love him. 5.5 million. Like, the Newcastle fixtures, though, when you look at the ticker, they are right at the bottom. Newcastle, Arsenal, rotten fixtures to start the season. So I think we just swerve them for the
It doesn't help that Eddie Howe's even said today that Isak's kind of hindered their preparation for the season, basically.
Yeah.
And he's got backtracked a little bit too by being like, he's trying to now like act like there's no animosity towards Isak just in case they can kind of bring him back in from the cold. The geezer's moved out of his house. He's refused to train or play for him ever again. I don't think there's any way back from this one. Obviously, it's happened before. We've seen players come back in from the cold. I'll be amazed if Isak ends this month as a Newcastle player and plays for them again. My expectation is that there's that Newcastle-Liverpool game, isn't there? Is it game week 2 or 3?
2.
3.
2.
He'll join him up. Yeah. He'll join them after that.
And then
it's on a Monday. That's why it confused me. Newcastle v Liverpool. It's game week 2, the 25th of August. I reckon Isak will join Liverpool on like the 26th or 27th.
Dean, this is just a tweet from Transfer Market, but I'm going to get. This is quite a fun game to play at home. Give me some names, or I've cheated. So rather than play the game, I'm just going to read them out. Some names of players Newcastle have missed out on this summer. Boy, is this a list of some players, right? So early on in the window, they missed out on the likes of João Pedro, Kudus, Delap, Trafford, Gay, Mbeumo, Huijsen. Dean Huijsen was linked with him, and then Sesko, Ekitike. The list is like Newcastle strong links. I mean, some of them might not have been full.
No, most of them are. Most of them are real. Yeah,
that's
most
amazing.
Of them are real.
That list. I mean, Delap and João Pedro both went to Chelsea. It's hilarious.
Yeah, they obviously don't have a proper sporting director in place at the moment, and they've been trying to get around it, and it doesn't seem to have worked out very well for them. Obviously, just signed Jacob Murphy as well for a £40 million deal. Adding that to Alanga, I think those are both mid signings. I've got to say,
not Jacob Murphy. They got him. What's his name?
Jacob Ramsey. Sorry,
Ramsey. Yeah.
Blimey, that's going to be confusing all season.
I was thinking of Ramsey, the other, because there's another Ramsey, isn't there? Plays for Burnley.
Ramsey at Burnley. Yeah. This is going to be very. I have no idea.
They look similar, don't they?
They might do. I honestly don't really know much about the Burnley lads. So
there's 2 Murphy brothers too. One that plays for Cardiff or something.
Yeah, my goodness.
Come on, let us know in the chat. Are the Ramseys and the Murphys? I think the Murphys might be twins, but the Ramseys.
Yeah, they said Aaron is his brother. So there's that, and then they've obviously got Visser to come in. I'm sorry, I don't think Alanga, Ramsey, Visser is good enough.
Mate, Ramsey for 40 million.
This is a team that's just like got a trophy, get to the Champions League, Saudi ownership. Let's go and win the league soon. And that's the level of your signings that you end up with.
But they're not cheap. You've spent 50 million on Alanga, 40 on Ramsey. Like, Man City paid 46, 48 for Rangers. I know he's on a bigger contract, sure, but I feel like Newcastle are getting mugged off a bit.
They might end up with Jackson too. They're still in that. They would pay 60 million for Jackson. They're not going to do the 80 million that was talked about, but the 60 mil, they would do it. Like, Howe thinks that Jackson's got similar playing traits and profile, instincts that match up with what Isak did. He
has until he has to shoot.
That's the thing, isn't it? Eddie Howe literally said today, Isak's one of the, if not the best striker in the world or Europe. I was like, hang on, mate. Isak's not the best striker. Like, we are getting way too carried away here. Like, what are you talking about? He's not that good. He's very, very good. But no one's ever no one has ever called him the best striker in the world, have they?
He'd do well to be in the top 5.
Yeah, he wouldn't be in it.
Number 9s, Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
Let's see our team, shall we? Our best captain isn't Haaland or Salah. Look, I think if it's not Haaland or Salah, someone like a Palmer you could go to. Watkins, I don't love, but Watkins has been brilliant pre-season, and Newcastle are all over the shop, so I don't hate Watkins, actually. Game week 2 is where it starts to get interesting with captain, because that's when it's a split pot. It's Arsenal if you own them. But we want to spend a bit of time on our teams. We want to answer your questions. So, Dean, look, we're here to lock in our teams pretty much. The title of the show is locking in your teams now, and of course, giving advice to you lot. So if you've got any comments on our teams, we'll bring them up. I'd love to play a game, though. Where in the world are you all watching from? Hit us with some countries, and we're going to flash up in the next 30 seconds all of the countries in the world you are watching from. And before the end of today's show, to celebrate pre-season and you lot joining us, we're going to gift 5 channel memberships. So again, to win a membership, all you've got to have done today is hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, you're in. And let's see some countries. Let's flash them up.
Whoa, they're already... Oh, there's loads coming in. Nice one, everyone. That's cool. Right, here's my team, everyone. Here's just the team reveal. This might even be locked. It might be. I've got no budget left, so this is the full amount. I changed the goalkeeper as you suggested. I can't remember who I had in Aina's spot, but it was somebody, and I leveled up 0.5 to get to Aina, and I brought my other keeper down to Dubravka to open that up. So I've got an actual 4-4. This was not deliberate, but I've actually put together a 4-4-2, and they actually are all in the positions that they could actually play in real life. And this was genuinely not deliberate. But I remember like 10 years ago, I would seek to do this, and I would try to get together a team that would actually gel in real life, which was probably why I wasn't very good at FPL. But yeah, I quite like this. Like,
we need to talk about Tarkowski, don't we?
Well, yeah, I thought you were going to say this because
he's still a great pick, but with no Branthwaite, clean sheet odds dip. But also, and more importantly, if Michael Keane comes in, 1, he's dreadful, and 2, Michael Keane actually is good at DEFCON. So when he played with Tarkowski last season, he averaged a higher DEFCON than Tarkowski. He actually takes away the DEFCON from Tarkowski because he goes up for a lot of the aerial duels, or he'll do a lot of the man marking. So Branthwaite's often the spare man and Tarkowski doing the dirty work. When Tarkowski and Keane are together, it flips. So Tarkowski's DEFCON's not as good without Branthwaite. Now, he could play next to O'Brien, and actually Michael Keane stays benched. O'Brien plays centre-back with Tarkowski, and then I think DEFCON's still good. And they bring in right-back Patterson or whoever. But your read on whether it's Keane or O'Brien could be important here, Dean, if you want to keep Tarko, who's a lot of money if he's not getting DEFCON. You need those 2 extra points each week to justify 5.5 million. And of course, players like Daniel Munoz are 5.5 million. They could be quite fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've already mentioned Pedro Porro as well in the show today. So the top alternate, it was Konza actually, whose spot that has just been gone for Ola Aina. So Aina came in for him. Tarkowski's in here because you told me to pick him, and now you're telling me to not pick him. So there's Pedro Porro. There's Mark Gahey's going to be coming into my team at some point if he joins Liverpool. He's 4.5, right?
We start.
Well, yeah, they're not trying Mark Gahey to be a sub, are they?
No, but what does that do to Konate?
Well, I assume Konate just annoyed them so much with his antics that they just can him. Obviously, I can get Milenkovic, but that'd be 3 Forest in my back line, which I try and avoid. Munoz, I haven't considered all season, but Munoz obviously could be an option there. One of the Brighton lads could come in. Reece James. I don't hate the idea of Reece James, like that is one that has actually, of all those names, the one that's actually fluttered in and out of my drafts and never actually stayed locked, but gone in and out, is Reece James.
I love your links to 2 England players that you know people of them, like Declan Rice and Reece James. You are so into them that they're always in and around your thinking for FPL because you've got good Rice and James contacts.
It's hard though, Like I hear from these people and they have an agenda. Maybe I end up with the full English 11. It's just mates of mates. But I don't know. Reece James's ownership is 5%.
It's when European football starts, can he play twice a week? Or does he miss a few league games?
But you look at the next 4 games. Reece James is playing Crystal Palace, West Ham, Fulham, Brentford, all basically a week apart.
Yeah, and he'll play in midfield for a lot of them. And for midfield, he doesn't need 12 defensive actions. He only needs 10 because he just is a defender. He'll do well for DEFCON when he plays centre mid.
Do you dare me?
I think I do. Seeing as you don't have Declan Rice, I feel like you've got to have one of them.
I know. Like, I'm a bit annoyed at myself for not going Declan Rice. He's just a million too much at the moment to get into my team, Dick.
Could you? Yeah, I know. Well, okay.
That's the price I've paid for having this Palmer pick wedged in.
To be fair, though, mate, you have Haaland, Salah, and somehow you've got this is a Haaland Salah team with Gyökeres and Palmer as well. You've made it work because Dewsbury Hall and Rangers are great enablers. You've got a proper bargain basement bench, but that's fine as long as they get some minutes. And look, you're not going to need them much because you've got 11 starters.
Yeah.
So fair play. I don't think this team needs. I'd stick with what you got. You've done so well to get that shape. The defense doesn't the week. I prefer Murillo to Aina, but if you only want to spend 5, then that's fine.
Yeah, I can't have everything, mate.
Rate Dean's team, guys. Give us a number for Dean. Put a number in the chat. 7, 8, or 9. Come on.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. Have you seen any other team that's got all 4 in?
No.
I honestly don't think I have. So that's kind of the other reason I'm like, I'll just give it a go then. Like,
what don't you have? Let's see what this team is missing. It's not got Bruno Fernandes.
Adam's giving me a 4. What are you talking about, brother?
You've not got Florian Wirtz, or you've not got Ollie
Florian
Watkins.
Wirtz.
Ollie Watkins is a big miss, actually, but you can't have him and Gyökeres.
No. I'm missing a second Liverpool player. I'm missing a second Arsenal player. They're 2 things that concern me, especially like in the defense. Like I haven't got that.
9s.
I mean, this is all over. Some people giving me 4s and some people giving me 9s. Like this is how none of us have a clue what we're doing at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. No one knows the answer to is it Salah, Haaland, both or neither? We do not know the answer to that until game week 4, probably.
Yeah. And also the other thing is like I've got pens from Salah, Palmer, Haaland, Gyökeres.
Yeah,
haven't I?
Yeah. And mate, have you seen the new chat from last night, the Premier League meet about?
I was just reading that before we came on. Yeah.
So just explain that because it's likely we could see pens given for shirt tagging, for example, in the box more often than we've seen in the past. So actually having penalty takers in your team.
Exactly. Yeah. So it seems like some of those simulations, some of those moments with holding in the box are actually going to lead to more penalties. And if that's what the referees have been told ahead of the first game, then what we'll typically see is a splurge of them in the first few game weeks. And then they'll be like, oh my God, this is getting ridiculous. We've had 27 penalties in 3 game weeks. Like,
and then it softens up.
And then it softens up again because the rest are like, I'll let that one go. This is getting a bit stupid. I'm giving 4 penalties a game here. But for game week 1, if this is the new like message that's been sent out that we're cracking down on holding, everybody does it, mate. It's instinct. They can't not do it. They can't resist doing it.
And they don't know where the line is yet. So they
don't know.
Like Big Man's going to be in Dreamland.
Mate, Big Man.
Imagine his team.
He just got 11 penalty takers. Got Pickford in goal just in case he steps up to take one.
I got to see that.
Yeah.
We don't know who's on pens for Arsenal. We think it's Gyökeres.
I assume it's Gyökeres.
We think it could be Watkins or Tielemans.
Yeah. That's why obviously Bruno's a good pick. 9's tough to get to Bruno, but
9's too much to get to Bruno with those fixtures, in my opinion. But I'm seeing him in most content creators' teams. He is the content creator darling, Bruno, because he gets DEFCON.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like if Bruno's a decent pick. I wouldn't put anyone off of picking him at all. No Salah or Haaland. Bench boost, game week one.
Fine. Like, and Cuckoo versus Porro. In terms of your chip strategy and no Salah or Haaland, you do you. But I can comment on Cuckoo versus Porro. I do think if money's not an issue, Cucurella's slightly better for the average position he'll take up. Saying that, I've got Porro in my team and 500,000 in the bank. I could upgrade to Cucurella, but I've already got 3 Chelsea spots taken, and I don't want to compromise on them because I want those players in my team. So if it's just a straight shootout, I do prefer Cucurella. But if money's important to you, or Chelsea spots are, then Porro is going to be great.
Bit of transfer news, mate. Sorry, before we crack on, David Ornstein just dropped one of his messages on Twitter. Nottingham Forest in process of agreeing £37.5 million deal for Amari Hutchinson of Ipswich Town.
That'll be interesting. What does that do to Gibbs, White, and Anderson?
Obviously, he's like the Alanga replacement, I guess. Like
he's a 10, not a winger.
Yeah, but I guess in terms of creativity, like he's fulfilling that.
Do you know, Alanga had a lot of the set pieces last year, and when he left, it was like, oh, Elliot Anderson's going to have them all now. Actually, Amari Hutchinson might have some of those set pieces.
Yeah, Ipswich fans have been a bit annoyed, I think, at Hutchinson angling for a move recently.
Yeah, Brentford bid for him, didn't they?
Yeah, but that's quite a high fee. I mean, that's more than I thought Forest would actually get for him. So, good luck to Forest with that one.
Yeah, okay, nice one.
And Doy is the Alanga replacement. Everyone's shouting at me.
They did well there, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's an exciting signing from Serie A. Let's see my team. Guys, thank you for all your comments. We got nearly 500 of you watching. We are going to celebrate by giving away some memberships, which will get you access to content. Also, if any of the channel members are adding to the chat, we'll always flash up your comments, channel members, so you always get priority. Mate, I need some help. In fact, I'm going to kick us off. Can we do a poll, please? Who does Gianni bench? Dewsbury Hall or Munoz? Dewsbury Hall and Munoz. So I've got a benching dilemma, and it is this squad is built for 4-4-2. I've gone with 4 expensive defenders: the double Forest, Pedro Porro, and Munoz. I've got 500,000 in the bank here. I do have money in the bank.
Why are you keeping money in the bank? What's the plan?
So I was open to Dewsbury Hall being Elliot Anderson. I was open to Pedro Porro being Cucurella or Nori. But one, I like those players, Porro and Dewsbury Hall, and I don't think there's much in it. So why have the more expensive player? And 2, my theory is every season, the dream scenario is you only spend 99.5, but you always see an obvious improvement and you go and spend that 0.5 and you go in with 0 in the bank.
Yeah.
When we make a transfer between game week 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, or even if it's 3 and 4, and we've been able to roll, almost certainly the player we're buying is just banged in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Therefore, he's probably gone up in value. If you have 0 money in the bank, you cannot shop at the same price band because the player you're buying is going up. It has gone up in price already before you bought him. And he might go up 0.2, 0.3 in a week, and he went up on the Sunday, and he's going to go up again on the Tuesday when you buy him. So to be able to shop in the same price band, having 0.5 in the bank is so important to me. If you can get it. For example, I might want Sesko in game week 3. He's got Burnley at home. João Pedro's blanked in game week 1 and 2, and João Pedro's gone down to 7.4. Even if Sesko hasn't risen, I can't get to him. I can't swap my 7.5 striker for another 7.5 striker because the market is so volatile in the first month of the season because everyone makes so many transfers because it's a new shiny toy. Having 0.5 in the bank would be so nice. And I would urge anyone out there not to go and find 0.5 and trim your team. But if there is not an obvious upgrade, then keep 0.5 in the bank.
Yeah, I do have a comment, but first let's do Cam's super chat because he deserves us to answer him. This is great content. Thank you as always, Cam, for your money, mate. Appreciate it. Thiago or Fulkrug? On Fulkrug at the moment. I mean, he's a niche pick, but I'll tell you what, I've said it before, like Graham Potter is definitely playing Fulkrug. They believe that he's going to unlock some of that potential in him. I like it personally. I
do too. Thiago, Brentford have been linked with other strikers this window. They haven't landed one yet, if they Dean, but there's a chance Thiago actually isn't, unless he hits the ground running, he could miss out. So like in game week 3 or 4 or whatever. Fulkrug's been sharp pre-season. Thiago could be on pens. Fulkrug won't be on pens, but I prefer Fulkrug too, Cam.
Fulkrug, yeah. Even if I think Fulkrug's a good pick. In terms of your team, mate, as I think it was Wazza who said further up about the fact you've got 2 Chelsea forwards in here who want scoring goals, who are going to take points away from Munoz if he plays. Is that in your thinking at all or not?
I don't mind players that play each other, because if we knew the outcome of the games, then those players playing each other is a huge nightmare for you. But because we don't know it, it's like, well, Chelsea could lose and Munoz could score.
Yeah.
There's so, like, I can't call those unless you've got really strong feelings about Team X beating Team Y. When you don't know, and I think this is a potential banana skin for Chelsea anyway. I've not picked double Chelsea attack for Crystal Palace. I've picked double Chelsea attack for the first 5-10 weeks. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's not ideal, but it happens. I do think I'll land on Dewsbury Hall. And just looking at the poll result, who does Gianni bench? 70% have said bench Munoz. And I do think Chelsea score. So clean sheet points are off the table for Munoz. I do think Everton, though, might struggle to score at Leeds. I feel like Leeds and Sunderland, who both have home games, I fancy Sunderland to beat West Ham. And I think Leeds will give Everton a good game. I don't fancy them to win, but yeah.
Nottingham Forest signing another player. Calamuendo just been given the pretty much here we go treatment from Fabrizio, so he'll be joining Nottingham Forest from Rennes. Another attacking player, another youngster, can play centrally or out wide, just like all the other ones. So,
like Hudson,
they are stocking up. They're stocking up Forest.
It's a European squad thing, I guess. Like, we need to be able to manage playing twice a week. But the problem with that is Nuno Espirito Santo isn't the type of manager that likes to rotate much. He likes his settled 11. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, everyone's saying bye-bye Chris Wood in the in the chat. It'd be interesting to see. I'm sure he doesn't just ditch Wood after everything he's done. Like, he's been such a talismanic figure and a guy that's dug him out and helped him to produce surprises. I don't think he'd completely give up on it, but there we go. What do you feel you've given up here, mate, on your team? I mean, obviously there's a couple of, you haven't got Haaland, for example, but what else do you feel you're missing?
Yeah, Haaland's a big miss. The big miss in terms of where like content creators have gone was they've all got Bruno pretty much, or not all. The vast majority of them have gone Bruno, and now they've done that and they've gone Bruno and Wirtz, and they've not got pretty much. You can have Bruno, Wirtz, and Watkins. You can have two of the three. And most have got Bruno and Watkins and not Wirtz, or they've got Wirtz and Bruno and not Watkins. But the vast majority want Bruno. And I get it. I think Bruno's a brilliant pick. And I've got 0.5 in the bank. I could go Wirtz to Bruno. I just think even at the same price, I prefer Wirtz because I like and I trust the Liverpool attack. They're the best attack in the league. And I know Bruno gets DEFCON and I know Bruno gets penalties. But I think there's going to be other routes to the United attack that will be cheaper. We might see after 3 game weeks, Cunha or Mbermo or Sesko at 7.5 million is the Man United pick. We don't quite know yet. And because the fixtures are rough, I'm happy to wait and see. Yeah,
that's fair enough. You're right. Like, Liverpool are sharp. I just want to mention quickly, Kev, who's one of our new members of the elite crew over on WhatsApp, has sent me his team in the last 20 minutes. If in case I wanted to give him a shout out. Mate, I really like his team. I can't get it onto the screen right now, but I'm just going to mention it. He's got Sanchez in goal, which whatever. His back three for this one is Milenkovic, Murillo, Van de Ven. He's got a midfield 5 of Saka, Wirtz, Palmer, Bruno Fernandes, and Reinders. And his top 2 are Ekitike and Gyökeres.
Wow.
Really like it. And then he's on the bench. He's still got Munoz, Wan-Bissaka, Mark Gu. Like, Kev, I like it a lot, mate. I like it. That's one of the better teams I've seen, I have to say.
561 of you are watching. We know there's 250 of you that aren't subscribed, and that's completely cool. If we've done enough to convince you today to hit that subscribe button, please do. And you'll like Chasing Green Arrows. I'm sure you will. We do lots of live streams. Dean is our football guy, right? Dean is a journalist. He's a transfer specialist. In the next couple of weeks, as the window's about to close, we're going to be asking and getting Dean's steer a lot. He's an FPL enthusiast, but he's a football man first. I'm the other way around. I'm the FPL guy and hopefully can give you some good advice on your team. So thank you, guys. If you want to ask questions, get into the chat. Members, of course, always prioritize, but we would love you all to hit that like button too. We've only got 100 likes pretty much.
20%.
20% hit rate. Have to get to 40%, right? Come on, let's get to 200. Will you be back on DR Sports? I hope so. Next week. We're doing a weekly FPL show. That's how mainstream FPL is becoming, that even DR Sports want to do a fantasy show. Although we did one in the week and it was great, but it's not their target audience don't all play, so we've got to convince them.
Oh, right, yeah. It's like, I always find it weird when people don't play FPL. One of my mates actually that I've played this game against for 10 years has decided this season he's not playing.
Really?
Yeah, and he's good at it. He's like,
really casually just do 5 minutes.
He can't. He said he can't do that. He's either playing it or he ain't. He takes it very seriously. And I messaged him earlier. I was like, "You're such a loser. Like, how are you feeling today?" He's like, "I feel brilliant. I have not even given it a second's thought, and I don't care."
Okay,
I was like, "Wow."
You'll watch it all differently now.
Imagine that, mate. Imagine the season was starting tomorrow, and you had none of this on your mind.
I didn't play. Was it the World Cup or Euros? One of them. And I must admit, I really enjoyed the tournament. Not thinking who got the goal or the assist.
I don't know if you can get away from that though, can you? I don't know. Maybe not. I like having this edge to my football watching experiences. I can't imagine a world without it. Cam says some of Dean's transfer drops have been fantastic recently. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
I know Cam will be following you on Twitter, mate. We're all watching your excuses and
try and get some nuggets of info before all the other 3,000 ITKs out there.
Murillo and Verbruggen or Nico and Sales. I would go double Forest. Double Forest. I've said it all pre-season. I convinced Dean to making sure he's got double Forest as well. Opinions on Potter. Yeah, absolutely nailed. It'll be number 9 or 10, but he's nailed.
Look, Leeds were really exciting last season, and let's see if they're willing to carry on playing in that style of football, right? Their manager's going to be on job on the line from day one. They already considered sacking him even when they got promoted, so he probably won't last long. But Rutter's probably good. Advice on Marmoush, says my brother, Jack Jones. Marmoush, he's just really hard to get to. He's going to be the second best goal getter in the Man City team. I think he'll have a really good season. I personally cannot figure out how to get him into any version of my team. Especially now I've got Reinders as such a good value one. I don't want Reinders and Haaland and Marmoush as we start the season. Maybe it turns out I have to if Man City are going to win the league or whatever, but at the moment I can't see it.
Agree. I must admit, if I'm going City outside of Reinders, I like Ait-Nouri. He's going to take up some amazing positions, guys. Ait-Nouri is being slept on. For captain, Haaland or Palmer? I would go Haaland. On the opening day, I just think Haaland. If you're not capping Salah, captain Haaland.
Yeah, it's just a safer way to start your season, right?
Loving these questions, guys. Keep them coming in. We're going to try and do we're going to do it quick. We'll go Dean me. So go on, Dean. On to you, and we'll do alternate.
Oh, okay. Is Nico Williams better than Murillo or Milenkovic, taking into account price? I don't think so, personally. I actually don't. Even if you're taking the price into account, I don't think that he's a better pick, no.
Enzo Fernandez, 6.5 is good. I like him. I just wonder if he's 0.5 too expensive. Like you can get Neto at 7, but no, Enzo box crashing will get some points.
Yeah, as a Fulham fan, mate, you shouldn't be contemplating Chelsea players anyway. Cole Palmer is the only one I'll let any of you have. Traden says latest on Rodgers. He's in a void this week, isn't he? I mean,
he was pictured in training, which makes me think he'll probably start because he is a fitness monster.
He's done that before, Morgan Rodgers. Like there was 1 week towards the back end of last season when people said he wasn't going to play, and I actually stuck with him, and loads of people had ditched him, and he scored or assisted really early on. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
Frimpong will start 3-3. Ait-Nouri will start 3-3. We're worrying about nothing with those two.
Yeah, 100%. Kelleher or Verbruggen at 4.5. I mean, Kelleher's been a bit of a doubt, hasn't he? So I think you've got to go for Bruggen for now.
Would you recommend triple captain? No. Maliki, no.
Maliki,
no.
You silly man.
I hope you've enjoyed your tortellini, Maliki. I've got a photo from him earlier.
Josh King is going to play. Start majority of games in pre-season, says A. And word out Fulham is that this lad is actually going to get some serious minutes early on. They like what they've done. They like how he's fitted the system. And it's a £4.5 million squad option. Go for it.
But come game week 4, when Smith Rowe's back fit, like you just worry from long term being the 11, don't you?
Maybe. It depends how well he does in these games. I mean, Josh King has been talked about in the Fulham Academy for a long time. They spent the last year or so betting him in around the first team. So it wouldn't surprise me if he starts well that he stays.
Paqueta, Ice G, will have pens. Tielemans might not. I like Paqueta, but 6. But I must admit, if you can go up to 6.5, Ismail Assar, Or I prefer Rangers actually to both these picks, and he's 5.5.
Yeah, fair. Right, last few.
Semenyo's underrated. I think, again, it's the opening day fixture. We go, they've got Liverpool, so I'm not going to look at Bournemouth. Well, Bournemouth after Liverpool have good fixtures.
Nobody's mentioned Semenyo all summer.
Yeah.
Since he signed that contract.
Started last year so well. He do you remember at the start of last season? He was banging him in like first couple of months.
He was, mate. He was one of the best players in the game last season for a while.
Yep.
Sarr or Kudus?
I'm going to say
me.
Sarr just.
Oh, are you? I'm saying Kudus. That's interesting. First time
Ishmael Sarr, this is, I guess. Not Spurs Sarr.
Pape Mata Sarr, I was thinking.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Minter or Sarr. Again, it's the 6.5. Minter 6, I think.
Minter's, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen too much love for him in this summer. What role? And Berman will play right-sided 10, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Not as wide as he was at Brentford. He'll have Ahmad on his outside. It is interesting. Both Cunha and Mbeumo have been signed, but neither of them are playing in the positions they were in last season.
Exactly.
Thoughts on Matoma? Maybe a bit too. I'd probably go Minter and spend less money.
Yeah.
I'm still torn. Wazza, I'll send you a voice note, mate, on your. In fact, I think I did earlier. Didn't I?
Any answers do you need, Wazza?
Wazza is a tinker, man. I mean, the amount this guy changes his team is quite.
I love Wazza.
I would go Wazza.
Let's go.
Yeah, here we go. Williams, Sarr, Watkins.
Would you?
Yeah. It's the Watkins or Rodgers thing. Like Rodgers is great, but Watkins could.
No, that's true. No, that's true. Watkins is a better pick. Yeah.
Watkins could go big. 4.5 keepers. I just don't. Find the extra 500,000 and get Sanchez or Sells. Yeah. But of course, Kelleher trained today. Verbruggen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dean, we got to give away some memberships as well.
Oh yeah,
so what we'll do in the next 30 seconds, if you've hit the subscribe button and like button, 5 of you will randomly be given memberships. But to win, you've got to spam the chat and you've got to have a comment in the chat. It goes to 5 of you randomly. So 3 things to do: like, subscribe, spam the chat. And then 5 of you will be given some. Oh, Evening Gents is on his FPL. Guys, if you're just joining, go back and watch the last hour. It's been a really good show tonight. We've shown both our teams. We've had lots of Q&A. We've addressed all the big talking points. And you can now just put random letters and numbers in the chat. And if you win a membership, the priority comments is cool and the emoji is cool. But more importantly, you get extra videos. And next week, Dean and I will both be dropping channel member videos for you guys. Subscribe, like, spam.
Yeah, let's see where this lands once it eventually does. There's loads of you messaging right now.
We can't answer your question because we can't see your bench boost. But never mind.
Next time. But yeah, 550 basically of you in the chat right now. Thanks everyone for watching tonight. We've really appreciated it. We hope this has helped you prepare for game week 1, which does, remember, begin on Friday night in the UK with Liverpool taking on Bournemouth. So make sure your teams are locked in early in the day because the app will probably go down in the final few hours, judging by how the Premier League's rejig has worked out so far this summer. Expect that the app will go down on Friday at some point. Get a good version of your team locked in. Pick your captain now, just in case it all goes down.
Get that bus team in place, guys, just in case you're run over by a bus or the guy that runs the website is. There's a few Friday night deadlines coming up, so we'll be streaming on those Fridays. But also, guys, we'll be back on Monday, so make sure you're with us on Monday or Tuesday because there's Monday Night Football. So make sure you're with us on Tuesday next week to react to the game week because there's going to be so many talking points on Tuesday. So usually we're live around this at a time. Hit the notification bell. The 5 people that won memberships are in. Alan won. Kev won. Oh, Kev Mack won. Great. He's one of my channel members. Lovely.
Mohammed, Terry, and Rio. Nice one.
Good stuff. Dean, we're going to end on one thing. Give me the name of the team that is going to cause an upset this weekend. I'm going to go with Sunderland to beat West Ham.
Oh, are you? I'm going to go for... Hang on, just to make sure I'm not missing anything here. I'm going to go for... Hang on. This isn't the right fixtures. I was looking at match week 2. I was like, I'd have got one very wrong then. I'm going to go for Man United to beat Arsenal.
Whoa. I keep forgetting your love of Man United, Declan Rice, and Reece James.
So, do you know what though? Imagine how much that would rattle us all. If Man United beat Arsenal on Sunday, then we'd have nothing. Like everything's suddenly up in the air. So that's more of a narrative than I actually truly believe it. It's either like Gyökeres 1-0, Arsenal win 3-0, or Man United surprise us all with this new attack that they've got. And Ruben Amorim's a mastermind.
I want that outcome just so I can watch AFTV, my guilty pleasure. It's Mark Aldridge, my other guilty pleasure. Guys, thank you for watching. We will see you on Tuesday night. Hit the notification bell on your way out.